Welcome back to the Genius 180-Day Review video series. I'm your host, Robert Genito. Yeah, thank you. And this is a section on the new applications with Genius. So thank you for checking this out. This is titled for new dApps. Now, dApps, by the way, are decentralized applications for people who are learning, wanting to get as much information as possible. And, well, the biggest difference between decentralized apps and apps is you want decentralized apps. People want them. They're applications that cannot be censored. They're applications that they're just a great thing. And in the Genius community, over the last 6 months, we've had new apps pop up and new upgrades to different apps. And this is noteworthy. So sit back and prepare for a relatively short video of the series. So first off, there is the official app, the Genius dApp. One of the biggest changes is that the area that goes over your shares or your Genius miners, this section it will show you your revenue on an annual basis. So for example, you have this Genius miner here. These shares they have lived for about a third of their lifetime. And by lifetime, remember, when it comes to Genius shares are different than company shares, because with company shares, right, you hold on to them until you sell them, dump them on the market or whatever. But with Genius shares, you're not allowed to have them forever. You have to specify a time, which is cool. You tell the system how long you're going to keep the shares for. The longer you keep them, the better, the more revenue you generate. However, you can't keep them forever. So this miner has served about 1/3 of its time, and the yearly applicable, the whatever number for a yearly basis, this is making about 8.5% revenue versus the principal itself. Also shows you the return on investment, which is going to be lower than the yearly amount. It's only going to be lower than the yearly amount when the ROI has performed for less than a year. It's always going to show you that. So this is kind of cool. This one here is earning as much as 22.2% APY, has this nice little star here. That star just means, 80 out of 4,444 days. So if your Genius miner is serving the maximum number of days, you get a star. And that's cool, and that's useful in the future. This is pretty big because when you are going to finish using your shares, as in you're going to release them, you're done with them, it's important to know where you stand, right? It's important to know if you're releasing them early. It's important to know, well, if I end early, what kind of fee am I gonna incur? Or if I end late, what kind of fee? But here, when you end on time, the system will show you an overview of how much principal you originally put in to acquire the shares, the estimated performance, and it'll give you that overview. So that's pretty cool. Now see what it looks like on the details of the Genius miner. It will also show you the annual percentage yield, or what your revenue is for those shares relative to the amount you put down to acquire the shares. Now remember, whatever amount you put down to acquire shares, you get all of that back once you release the shares at the end. Cool. So here, this miner is ending late. As you can see, has exceeded its promised days by 12, or its commitment days. And when that happens, this app is going to show you the estimated fees. The estimate's pretty close. And then your overall payout. So this percentage here, 0.37, this is based on a different miner. It's not this miner. It's not that one we're looking at. Whoa, it's not that one. But every day that you're late, the fee is about 1/3%. That's pretty big. That's only for the advanced mining policy. The basic policy, the fee is much less. However, so you want to end on time. But however, the first 7 days that you're late, there's no fee, there's no penalty. So you have 7 days to get rid of your shares that you've committed to hold on to for only a certain amount of time. So the first 7 days, no fee. After that, it's 1/3% daily. All right, what else we got here? And also ending early. This is important because you can end early. You can break your promise. The Genius contract wants you to do that. It incentivizes you to do that because the artificial intelligence is going to learn what is valuable to you. And by learning what's valuable to everyone, it can adjust its supply tokenomics and it can inevitably hit phase 3. That's pretty cool. And it also does this to protect the market price. There's no tokens out there that really protect its market price because many tokens out there don't know its own market price. The Genius smart contract is aware of its own price. It's an artificial intelligence that's conscious and aware. So here, when you end early, the system will let you know the approximate fees for ending early, and it will give you a bunch of nice little percentages and stuff so you can see what that looks like. All right, and the official app is located, just go to your browser, type in Geni.app, Geni.app, and it'll bring you there. Next is Geni.best, and I love Geni.best a lot. Whew! What's cool about Geni.best is the mining portfolio. Here's an example of a miner's portfolio or how it is performing. Let me show you that on the actual website itself. So here I'm in the mining portfolio, and in the mining portfolio you can add whatever Ethereum or whatever network account addresses you want. So you can check out how other accounts are doing. This account specifically, this app, it shows me, maybe I can zoom in a bit. Okay, it shows me this account that has about $2,000 worth of Genius locked up, and the entire portfolio of this account has earned like $77 from that. The Genius shares, like the different lots of shares that it has, are earning anywhere from 23% APY to, let's see what else, anywhere from that to 8% on an annual basis. So that is pretty sweet. Yeah, look here, they have a, so keep in mind, a Genius miner is really like, it's really like a lot of shares. Not a lot like a ton, but I mean like it's an allotment of shares that has its own separate commitment period. And this miner here, its commitment period, well, it's about 35% done with its commitment period, but it's going to last until, wait, that's the start day. I don't know how long it's going to last until. I don't have it here. But $283, and its earnings so far is like $15. Cool. If you haven't checked out Geni.best, it's excellent for tracking information for Genius, tracking the price, tracking the amount of liquidity, tracking the treasury wallet, the marketing wallet, and it has pretty deep analytics for different performance snapshots. It's supply and debt analytics, which are very important for tracking phase 3, the debt tracker, and even like rankings, like for miners, for Genius miners, and rankings for Genius users. It's pretty cool. But here's the portfolio. All right. We got another cool thing there coming up. But we also have the Redeemer, and you can get to that by typing in geni.to/CV Redeemer. I think it's case sensitive, so I think you do need a capital C, capital V, capital R, and then the rest lowercase. The Redeemer, so the official Genius app, Geni.app, the collateral vault was taken down. There was basically like the community voted that they wanted certain actions to be done. So this happened. But that didn't stop someone from the community from making their own collateral vault Redeemer. Now, what is a Redeemer? That's where you burn your Genius so that you can acquire the collateral within the Genius contract. So it's like basically liquidating your Genius or selling your Genius to get US dollar, native tokens, and etc. Now this Redeemer, man, this Redeemer looks a little bit scary. A lot of people didn't want to use this at first because, you know, nobody wants their account to get hacked, and this looked a little crazy. But yeah, the Redeemer was just a nice little app where you just type in how much collateral you want or how much you want it to settle. Or you type in, you would paste in the collateral token's address. to tell the Genius contract what collateral you want to acquire and how much of that Genius credit you want to settle. So you need Genius to do this. Your Genius is used to settle this debt. Excuse me. Your Genius is burned, and in return, you get the collateral. And this is a better way to do things, because you are using Genius's internal, like, closed market. In the closed market, remember, it works on a different set of rules. And those different set of rules are for the benefit of everyone. Next was the mining calculator. This mining calculator is great. To get to it, type in Geni.best/calc. And if it doesn't load by any chance, just try it again. But this is cool. This is a decentralized application. This address here, let me see, this address, that forwards to another address. And the address it forwards to is the address you want to bookmark. That bookmarked address is an immutable website. So the website will never change. It'll never do something malicious to you in the future. It'll always stay exactly the same. So you know it's nice and secure and great. And that's really cool. Well, let's check out that mining calculator. Whoops. All right, let's make this a little bigger. All right, this mining calculator, excuse me, this mining calculator is great. It's very comprehensive. The person who programmed this, I helped them with a lot of the math too, and there was an insane amount of math involved. And this is a good calculator. This takes in a lot of variables that you don't have to input yourself. This website will collect those variables. It's great. So let me show you. This will estimate the reward that you get for your IQ shares. So we start. Select your network. We'll select Ethereum, for example. Ethereum, which has high gas fees. This app automatically pulls the Ethereum gas prices. So this calculator is going to use the gas prices and everything to figure out what can you expect revenue-wise. Now, what you can expect revenue-wise, there are some things you have to assume. You've got to assume that the gas rate is going to stay the same for Genius, or for using the Genius contract, or really the gas rate of the Ethereum network, or whatever network you selected. You have to assume that the Genius price stays the same, and you have to assume that, well, this app assumes that the share rate stays the same, but it's going to for your shares. But it also assumes that it assumes that the payment or the performance that you get per share stays relatively the same, which, even if it does stay the same, it should grow slowly over time. So let's check it out. Funds to allocate. Let's say $10,000. Right? $10,000 today gets you it gives you a portion of Genius tokens that's not a portion to sneeze at. It's quite a good chunk. Let's go to 5,000. All right. And let's see, the average performance per share is it's a little less than 1 Genius per share. So in 90 days with $5,000, you can expect to earn like 13% APY. Cool. You can expect to make $160 in 3 months off 5,000. Now, you know what? That's pretty great. Let's say you owe, right? Let's say you have some cash and you owe, how much? You want to leverage your cash and you owe like $10,000 over the next year. So check this out. You took out a loan to do something, right? Because you wanted to keep more capital. Well, if the fee to borrow, like, let's say 10 grand, and you get like a car or something like that, you get like a whatever vehicle, you can pay back that cash with some other cash that you have, like for savings or whatever the cash is for. But if you're going to earn more interest on Genius than you'll earn on a loan, it pays to use Genius instead. Now, you've got to assume that the Genius price will stay the same, but every time the Genius price increases and gets higher, you're technically earning a significant amount more than the loan you got. So let's say $10,000 loan over 365 days. Okay, at the end of the, well, let's say 90 days in profit on day 90, okay. Okay. You're gonna earn like $1,500 throughout the year. Cool, $1,500 is like what? 15%? Cool. So if your loan is like 2%, 3%, you're making on that. So tools like this, software applications like this are very much necessary because Genius is a complex application. So this is pretty cool. This is the mining calculator app. Let's have this load again. Here's the mining calculator app. It's pretty great. To get to it, go to Geni.best/calc. And well, I'll see you on the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one and have a good one. Thanks for watching.